Okay, hello everybody. I am skipping the pre-thematic screens and the post-thematic screens this month because my hard drive just can't handle it. I'm sorry about that. But what I'd like to do is welcome you to our episode of Riddle Me Din Din. And I feel like it's been ages since I've done one. It's only been 2 weeks, but 2 weeks, so much happens in a week these days. And so hopefully my subscribers will come in and check out this later. I have you all around the world, and I wanted to use Riddle Me Din Dins thematically just to run around the world and help each other sample the foods from the different places that my subscribers, my M-Source, my beautiful mortal souls out there, my supporters, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for following me. Thank you for helping me grow my community. And today we're crossing the ocean to one of our subscribers who joined back in June. Someone who has crossed the ocean to start anew in a new country, a country of their heritage, which I think is such a brave thing. Anyone who travels for work or to explore the world, to meet new people, to try new things, to start over, to re-script your life. At any age we can do this, and it's just marvelous that you're so brave to do such a thing. It takes some courage and it takes some excitement. I think it's so interesting to do. And so we're crossing over with Vella. That's Seavella. Vella has moved over to Malta. They were here over at my side of the world when they joined us, when they became a subscriber, and they've moved. And so to give a nod to their fresh new life and the types of things they're going to be exploring there in food adventures, let's travel the world through our kitchens today, because every day with me is a staycation. There's always something to celebrate, always something to explore. Let's head into your kitchens and see what we can do. Now, this might be the most complicated set of recipes and instructions I might give you. Maybe you'll think that way, because it was difficult to give you just one dish without there being two parts to every section. And I know I promised not to give you these huge things. I'm gonna cut it out. I promise it will all be more simplified when we head into September. I promise, I swear. But for now, we're going to Seavella in Malta, and we're starting a Riddle Me Din Din night here. So you might need your pens and pencils out. Don't be afraid to stop this video if you are cooking alongside with me. I know that there's a lot of things out there for the visual learners, but the way I'm doing this is for the audio learners, people who listen. I don't know, maybe I'm a bad listener too. I'm a good talker, that's why I'm here. But if you're a listener type, you like to just have someone just tell you and you'll figure it out. Here's the ingredients that we're going to need. So, our latest edition of Riddle Me Din Din tonight, we are heading across the Atlantic Ocean to where our subscriber lives, Vella. Big shout out to you. Thanks for joining our channel before you moved. And I planned out a super delectable, wonderfully scented 3-part menu. This 3-part menu, the appetizer, the main meal, and the dessert all have 2 sections, so please forgive me, based on this Mediterranean country. And I can't wait, because my mouth is watering just thinking about it. It tastes so good to me. So hopefully if your palate's like mine, you're going to really enjoy this. So this is part 1A. Riddle me this. I'm a certain type of bulb, but I don't give off any light. I can be peeled and chopped up, and I'm red, yellow, green, or white. What am I? Riddle number 2. The most effective social distancing enforcer is this vegetable. What is it? Riddle number 3. I can be fried, boiled and mashed, roasted and baked, scalloped and hashed. What am I? Next riddle. Rabbits like to eat me when I grow in a field. This orange vegetable tastes best when it's peeled. What is it? Next riddle. In Malta, I'm like a cabbage with a swollen edible stem. What am I? Riddle number 6. I'm a long, flat, green, edible legume. What am I? Riddle number 7. How do vegetables get paid? Is it an hourly rate? Riddle number 8. I'm a seed with 3 letters in my name. If you take away the last 2, I'd stay the same. What am I? Riddle number 9. I'm a white vegetable that looks like a tree. What am I? Riddle number 10. I think Scarborough Fair is Simon and Garfunkel's most haunting song. Want to know why? Riddle number 11. I'm a solid block of very creamy dairy product. In Malta, I'm called, I hope I say this right, Gbeniet. Gbejniet. Gbeniet. What am I? Riddle number 12. You can eat its wings, its breast, and its legs. Plus, when it's alive, you can eat its eggs. What is it? Riddle number 13. I am red and have seeds, and I am also round. Sliced up in salads is where I can be found. What am I? Riddle number 14. This thing comes as a small grain, but it's not sugar or sand. It's often used when cooking so that food doesn't taste bland. What is it? So, Venus, you may ask, what does this make? This is called widow's soup. And they call it in Malta, it's sopa armla. Sopa tel armla. Okay. Let's head back and let's find out what these ingredients are. So, in riddle number 1, certain type of bulb but doesn't go off light, it's an onion. We're going to need 1 onion diced. In riddle number 2, the most effective social distancing enforcer is garlic. We'll need 3 to 4 garlic cloves crushed. In riddle number 3, I can be fried, boiled, and mashed. Okay, that's the potato. We'll need 2 potatoes peeled and chopped. In Riddle number 4. Rabbits like to eat me. Best when it's peeled is a carrot. We'll need 2 carrots peeled and chopped. Riddle number 5 in Malta. It's like a cabbage with a swollen edible stem. It's called kohlrabi, Kohlrabi, kohlrabi. 1 kohlrabi peeled and chopped. If you're not in Malta and you don't have kohlrabi, cabbage. Some type of cabbage. Okay? Riddle number 6. Long and flat, green and edible legume. It is the broad bean, and we'll need 1 cup of broad beans. Riddle number 7. How do vegetables get paid? Is it like an hourly wage? No, they get a celery. Celery. Instead of salary, celery. Dad joke. 2 celery sticks sliced. In riddle number 8, I'm a seed with 3 letters in my name. If you take the last 2 away, I stay the same. It is the pea. P-E-A, pea, P-E-A, pea. So we need 1 cup of peas. Okay, and riddle number 9, I'm a white vegetable that looks like a tree. What am I? It is a cauliflower. We'll need half or a small cauliflower cut into bite-sized pieces. Riddle number 10. I think Scarborough Fair is Simon and Garfunkel's most haunting song. You want to know why? To this day, I still wonder, did parsley save rosemary in time? Save instead of sage. It's a miss here. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. T-H-Y-M-E is time in this one, and sage is save. Oh, how so silly. Okay, had dad joke, I'm sorry. Half cup of chopped parsley plus a little bit extra for the garnish at the end. In riddle number 11, this solid block of very creamy dairy product in Malta is called Gbegniet. G-B-E-J-N-I-E-T. I'm so sorry. I didn't have someone to ask before I tried to pronounce these. So it's a Maltese cheese. So you'll need a cheese, 1 piece for each person who will be eating the meal. In riddle number 12, you can eat its wings, breast, and legs, and when it's alive, you can eat its eggs. So we're looking at chicken, but in specific, it's a chicken stock. Or you can use a vegetable stock if you're vegan or vegetarian. In riddle number 13, red and have seeds, sliced up into salads. It's, well, referring to tomatoes, but what we'll need is tomato paste, about a half a tablespoon of tomato paste. In riddle number 14, the thing that comes as a small grain, not sugar, sand. Okay, so we're talking about salt and pepper to taste. And so we know that this makes a widow's soup, soppa tel armla, and at the end of simmering this until it's nice and thick, you want to drop a poached egg and the cheese on top of it to serve. But here, let's talk about all the how we put it all together. So we're going to saute the garlic, onion, and parsley in the butter and olive oil until it's soft. We're going to add the potato, carrot, kohlrabi, or the cabbage, broad beans, celery, peas, and cauliflower. Then we're going to pour in the stock and the tomato paste, stir it well, and season it to taste with your salt and pepper. Bring it to a boil, cover, and simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes until the vegetables are just cooked, so you can easily put a toothpick or a fork through that. And the cheese, the Maltese cheese, press down lightly to submerge it. Cover and cook for a couple of minutes to heat the cheese thoroughly. You're going to garnish with the parsley and stir through. You're going to serve 1 piece of this cheese in each of the bowls for who you're serving the meal to. Okay, now, we can't just eat this widow soup by itself. I just can't. So we've got a part B, something to bake to go with the soup, nice and fresh. So here we go, part 1B. Riddle me this. What white powder do you use to make a cake for a cat? Hello viewer, welcome in. If you'd like to take guesses in the message space, you can, but I will not reveal the answers until the end. Let's go. Riddle number 2. She's the mother of sweet pea. Who is she? Riddle number 3. How do you make a bed bouncier? Riddle number 4. This thing comes as small grain, but it's not sugar or sand. It's often used when cooking so that food doesn't taste bland. What is it? Riddle number 5. What direction do you go to find a bakery? Oh. All right, let's review. In riddle number 1, part B, what white powder is used to make a cake for a cat? It's all-purpose flour. All-purpose flour. We're going to need 3 cups of strong white flour. In riddle number 2, she's the mother of Sweet Pea. Who is she? She's olive oil, and we're going to need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Hi, Tisha Adams, you are right. You are right. I know there was a lag, but you got it. I can see the timing there. You got that right. All right, in riddle number 3, how do you make a bed bouncier? Okay, guess what type of bed this is. Put spring water in it. A water bed. Spring water makes it bouncier. Someone out there testing that out. Let us know if that's true. That's all right. In riddle number 3, how do you make... Oh, that I just did that. So riddle number 4. This thing comes small grain, but it's not sugar or sand. Often used when cooking so that food doesn't taste bland. Since Tisha's playing here, I'm gonna wait. In case you're making a guess. It is. It's salt. And we'll need 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You are correct. All right, here's our last riddle for this section of the game. What direction do you go to find a bakery? This is a dad joke. Be warned. What direction do you go to find a bakery? All right, so the direction you go to find your bakery is yeast. Yeah, yeast. I warned you it was a dad joke. I'm so sorry. 2 tablespoons of yeast will be needed. So you may ask me, Venus, what does this make? This is an easy, no kneading, so don't have to use a rolling pin, Maltese bread. It is a Dutch oven bread, and it's incredibly moist when it's done. You only need 10 minutes of prep work for this. So how we put this together is we're going to mix the flour, salt, and olive oil and add the yeast. We're going to make a mixture of the lukewarm water and add onto the flour and knead the mixture well until the dough is white and elasticized. And then place it in a bowl, seal it with a cling film and a wet dishcloth on top. Place it in a warm place for about an hour. So work the dough after the hour's up and cut it into small pieces. Place it on a baking tray. You're going to paste it with the egg. So if you've got one of those little basting brushes, you're just going to smooth it over top. Cut it with a knife and let the pieces rest for about 15 minutes. Now you can cook it in the oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. And the gas mark is 6 to 8 for 12 to 15 minutes. So that's part B. So that's our widow's soup with a Maltese bread to dip into it. But now we've got round number 2. And so Tisha, you're in time for the start of round 2. So the chef's tip though, some bakers will add some sugar and a tablespoon of milk with the warm water when they're making the dough to keep it moist. But now we're going to learn about the main dish, and I can't wait for this. It's yummy. Ready for round number 2? Before we get started, you're going to have to boil about 500 grams of macaroni al dente, which is about 10 minutes of boiling the macaroni. Set it aside, throw it in the fridge, and then we'll begin with the ingredients I'm going to give you now. All right, here we go. Riddle me this. First of all, you have to slice them. But don't cry because of these things. Cover with batter and fry them, and you'll end up with these types of rings. What am I? So I'm going to repeat that one. First of all, you have to slice them. Oh, okay. I'm moving on. We've got an answer there. Riddle number 2. Why did this little white vegetable take off all its cloves? Why did the little white vegetable take off all its cloves? Okay, I'm going to move on. Riddle number 3. What do you call a pig mixed with a centipede? A pig mixed with a centipede. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, riddle number 4. What are sausages warned to watch out for? What are sausages warned to watch out for? Okay, I'm gonna move on. I'm seeing a message in the message space. They don't know. Okay, we're gonna move on. So riddle number 5. What do boats eat with a spoon? What do boats eat with a spoon? They're getting harder. Okay, I'm going to move on. Okay, riddle number 6. I'm red and have seeds, and I'm also round. Sliced up in salads is where I can be found. Okay, we're going to hold that answer. Riddle number 7. What is a popular song amongst peppers? What is a popular song amongst peppers? Okay. Riddle number 8. I am a two-word item. My first word comes before the word market. My second word is a three-dimensional square. Oh, I'll read that again. I am a two-word item. My first word comes before the word market. My second word is a 3D square. Yes, okay, so we're going to hold that answer. We've got an answer. I'm going to riddle number 9. The lyrics to this slow song include red, red, something. Come back to me. I can't sing. Don't make me sing. Okay. Red, red, come back to me. What could it be? What is the missing word? All right, we're holding an answer. Next one. I am the main ingredient in cotton candy. What am I? The main ingredient in cotton candy. Okay. The next riddle is, I could be the name of a guy or that green thing in your tomato salad. What am I? If you're not sure about the answer to that one, it's also been turned into a flavor of ice cream, which actually isn't that bad. I had it in Rome last time I was there. Okay, so I'm going to review all of the answers to this first part of our main meal here. So in riddle number 1, you have to slice them, but don't cry. We're talking about an onion, and we need to fry 1 chopped onion. In riddle number 2, why did this little white vegetable take off all of its cloves? Which might sound like clothes. The garlic was feeling too hot. Garlic took off all his cloves. All right, so we need 3 cloves chopped up of garlic. In riddle number 3, what do you call a pig mixed with a centipede? Bacon and scrambled legs. Bacon and scrambled eggs. Okay, so we're gonna need 4 chopped back bacon rashers, or if you don't like to eat bacon, you could use chicken livers for this. Different. So in the next riddle, what are sausages warned to watch out for? Pig pockets. They're watching out for pig pockets because there's pork sausages. All right, anyways, we're going to need 500 grams of mince, which is usually a mix of pork and beef, which is a type of meats mixed up in sausages. And what do boats eat with a spoon? Tomato sloop. A sloop is a tiny little boat. You can see them in Fortress of Louisbourg if you ever visit Cape Breton. Fortress of Louisbourg. So tomato sloop is what a boat eats. In riddle number 6, I'm red and have seeds, and I'm round, and I'm sliced up in salads. It is the tomato. So, Tishy Adams, you were correct again. We need 3 tablespoons of tomato puree. And the popular song amongst peppers, spice, spice, baby. Those peppers make paprika spice. Okay, so we're going to need some mixed spices, and I'm going to leave it up to you which spices you would want to put into your soup. And I am a 2-word item. My first word comes before market, so it's stock, like stock market. Remembering we're collecting food words for our ingredients. And then a 3D square is a cube, so you were right again. And the next one is the lyrics to a slow song, Red, Red Wine. Now in this case, this soup is calling for white wine because they've got pork in it. 1 glass of white wine. Again, I don't propose for people to drink, so you don't have to add this at all if you don't want to. And we can just move on. It's just another flavor, but if you've got stock in there, that's good enough. Riddle number 10, the main ingredient cotton candy is sugar. You were right. We need 1 tablespoon of sugar. And in riddle number 11, it could be the name of a guy or that green thing in your tomato salad. Tomato basil salad. Tomato basil. So we need basil. If you like it. Again, you can skip this part. If you don't like basil, you don't need to add it, but chop up as much as you like if you like it. You may ask, so Venus, what does this make? This makes a bolognese sauce, and putting all of the above ingredients together and simmering it until it thickens. And we're going to need it for what's coming up next. Remember, I've already had you guys make your al dente pasta and stick that in the fridge. So stick this aside as well. And we're going to move on to part B, a much smaller set of riddles, but we need it to put this whole thing together. So, riddle me this. Ooh, I skipped something. Yes, tomato basil salads. I've always seen it on that TV show Sex and the City. I always remember Charlotte York looking at her tomato basil salad while she learned how to manipulate her husband into giving her whatever she wants. A short pat on his arm and convincing him to eat the tomato basil salad. That just sticks in my mind. I used to grow basil, and I used to eat it. It's good for breath freshener, too. But anyways, I digress. So, it looks like I missed 1 ingredient when I was making my riddles, so I'm going to make up a really bad one right now. It sounds like a French word that could be a perfume, but we're going to grill it till it's golden. Oh, but if we chop it, try not to cry. That was horrible, but I'm sorry, but there it is. If you chop it, you will maybe cry. Actually, let's see if I can do a better job here. It is purple egg-shaped fruit and eaten like a vegetable. Let me see here. It's a purple egg-shaped fruit. Oh, where did I put myself? Eaten like a vegetable. Okay, we've got an answer on the board. I'm going to move on. Riddle number 2. I'm sometimes decorated using paint or with a pen. I can be eaten scrambled, and I get laid by a hen. What am I? Interesting. More answers on the board. So I'll read riddle number 2 again because you were typing there. I'm sometimes decorated using paint or with a pen. I can be eaten scrambled and I get laid by a hen. What am I? All right, answers on the board. Riddle number 3. What do you do to make a mouse smile? What do you do to make a mouse smile? All right. You found my source. All right, riddle number 4. I'm a flavorful batter for your food made from crumbles of this grain product and herbs. What am I made from? Okay, well that is behind it. Let's review. This is it. So, for the purple egg-shaped fruit eaten like a vegetable, that sounds like a fancy perfume, it's aubergine. We'd need to, okay, so it's aubergine. That's what they call it. And, riddle number 2, something decorated with a paint or pen. You are right, it is an egg. And in riddle number 3, what do you do to make a mouse smile? You are exactly right. You've got it. Say cheese. And we'll need 200 grams of cheddar. Oh, and for the eggs, we're going to need 2 eggs boiled and sliced. And the 4th riddle, the flavorful batter with the crumbs and herbs, that is breadcrumbs. You are also correct there. And so, what does this make? It's a baked macaroni dish, and I might say this wrong, but in Malta they call it imkaram il forn. Imkaram il forn. And here's how we put it together. So we have to chop and grill that aubergine until it's golden. We are going to boil those 2 eggs and slice them up once they're boiled. And we're going to mix together the cooked pasta sauce, the grilled aubergine, and the boiled eggs. And then on top of this, we're going to drop in the 2 beaten eggs and half of the grated cheese. And then we're going to toss it all together in a big pile, put it into a big baking dish, sprinkle some of the breadcrumbs and the remaining cheddar on the top, across the top, kind of like how you would for a lasagna. And you're going to bake this for 45 minutes or until it's golden. And this dish is delicious served warm or cold. So if you make this, you can put this in the fridge and have it for later as a cool like pasta salad kind of a dish. So now we've got our soup, we've got our bread to dip it in, we've got our main macaroni meal, and now we're here for round 3, part A. This is our dessert, and it also comes from Malta, and it's really yummy. My family makes something similar to this, actually. The part of my family coming from Italy, which is just across the water there. So, riddle me this. I make up more than 70% of your body. What am I? I make up 70%, more than 70% of your body, more than 70% of your brain. What am I? Okay. Answers on the board. Riddle number 2. I'm a powder made by grinding wheat. What am I? I'm a powder made by grinding wheat. Okay. Riddle number 3. I hold golden treasure and must be broken before eating. What am I? Okay, riddle number 4. I'm the hard grain left behind after milling wheat into flour. What am I? Okay, we've got answers on the board. Moving on. Riddle number 5. I'm the skin of lemons, limes, and oranges. What am I? Okay, riddle answers on the board. Riddle number 6. I can sometimes be a stick, but I don't come from a tree. I can be spread on your toast. I'm a product that's dairy. What am I? Also, I can say you churn me out of milk. All right. Riddle number 7, and it's our final riddle for this first part. I am the dried flower bud of a tropical tree from the myrtle family. What am I? So I'll repeat that. I am the dried flower bud of a tropical tree from the myrtle family. What am I? Do 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 do. Don't know. Okay, we're gonna move on. Well, you're in the right range. All right. If you're asking Venus, what does this make? So far, the above answers are going to be the ingredients for a pastry dough. So let's review. For this pastry dough, we're going to need water, we're going to need wheat, 2 egg yolks. So far so good. You were 3 on 3. And then in riddle number 4, the hard grain left behind after milling wheat and flour. The harder stuff is called semolina. Italians use it in their cooking a lot. We'll need 250 grams of the semolina. And then the skins of the lemons, lime, and oranges, they are rinds, but what we're going to do is take them, and they're called candied peels. So when they get boiled down for about a half an hour and then they get powdered with superfine sugar, they become candy peels. And we'll need 50 grams of that. And then riddle number 6 can sometimes be a stick, can be churned. It is butter. You are right. We'll need 50 grams of butter. And in riddle number 7, the last one, the dried flower bud of a tropical tree, you're gonna realize it when I tell you. It's cloves. Those little things we put inside of an orange to make things smell nice, those are little dried flower buds from the myrtle family. And we need a pinch of ground cloves for this pastry dough. But wait, I can't tell you how to put this together just yet because I need to give you the ingredients for the other half of this dessert before we put it all together. So get ready for round 3, part B. There are only 4 riddles. Last round. Thanks for sticking with me. Here we go. Riddle number 1. I'm a thick, sweet spread made by boiling down fruits and sugar. What am I? Yeah, I thought it was. I'm always finding an interesting piece of information. So clove is a flower bud. I love that. But okay, so to repeat, I'm a thick, sweet spread made by boiling down fruits and sugar. I used to do this all the time when I worked for Pioneer Village. All the time. What is it? All right, answers on the board. Riddle number 2. I'm a sweet, tasty, usually sold as brown, white, or golden. Some call me superfine. What am I? I just love calling it sweet tasty. All right. Riddle number 3. I am a thick, sticky dark syrup made from partly refined sugar and molasses. What am I? And I do want you to know I've been trying to smile, a really big smile, but my avatar is not really synced with her rigging today. It's been a really quirky day for us. So I'm not actually chewing gum or anything. I'm trying to smile. So a thick, sticky dark syrup made from partly refined sugar and molasses. What is it? There we go. Okay, we're going to move on. Final riddle. I am the brightest colored, thinnest layer of a citrus fruit. What am I? Okay, so it's something made with molasses. So it's in you'll know it when you hear it. So let's review. We've got answers on the board. 4 riddles. Here we go. The thick, sweet spread made from boiling down fruits and sugar. It is jam. You're correct. And the sweet, tasty, usually brown, white, or golden, sometimes called super fine. That is sugar. You were correct again. Now, when it comes to the thing made with refined sugar and molasses, it is treacle. We'll need 600 grams of treacle. And, oh, if I didn't say, 75 grams of jam, 150 grams of sugar, 600 grams of treacle. And in the 4th riddle, the brightest colored, thinnest layer of a citrus fruit is zest. So you know how people take this thing that looks like a big file or a grater, and they only take the outer layer of the rind, the colorful part? That's a zest. And for this, you can use the zest of lemon, orange, and tangerine. You can mix all three together if you have them all for this dessert. So you may ask, what does this make? This is the filling that goes with the pastry. And in case you're wondering, what do these two parts make together? It's a dessert, and I hope I say it right, Kagak Tal Gasel. And I said it wrong, I know, but it's honey rings. And it just sounds so lovely, and this is a Maltese dessert, a wonderful little treat. I know my own family from Italy didn't have sugar, so they used honey on everything to make desserts, right up through all the weddings I've ever been to for all my cousins, my aunts, my grandmother, my mom make everything with honey. It's just, I just love it. So my mouth is watering here. Let's put this all together. Here's what we do. Put all the filling ingredients except the semolina into a saucepan and bring it to a boil. After you boil it, thicken it with the semolina, adding only a little bit at a time. Keep stirring it while you do this. Continue cooking it for a few seconds and leave it to cool. Then rub the margarine into the flour, bind with the yolks and a little water. Leave the pastry to set for 2 hours before using it. When 2 hours are up, roll out the pastry into long strips about 10 centimeters by 18 centimeters and put some filling in the middle, the whole length of the pastry, and then you fold it over. Now you're going to bring the two ends of the pastry together to form a ring, and so that jam is inside. And you're going to sprinkle a baking sheet with semolina, put the rings on the sheet, and bake it in a moderate oven for 25 minutes. Before you cook it, take a sharp knife and lash the pastry in different places. So usually to make some little marks on it. If you think it's coming apart, use a fork, the prongs, to press them together so they stay shut. And enjoy this meal. It'll take a little bit to do the cooking, but it's going to smell and taste so lovely. I love traveling the world through our kitchens, and I hope you do too. For the next few weeks, we are going to have mermaid-inspired dishes to enjoy our August outdoors, because I just look at the lake and I think we should be out there enjoying nature for as long as we can. Those of us in the northern hemisphere, we're going to be hitting winter soon enough. So I want to thank you, Tisha Adams, for sticking with me. Hero Flame's been here for some of these shows, but you've been the first one to guess correctly on most of the riddles. So I'm glad. That was a lot of fun. So congratulations. So, something else I tried to learn. Aptit tajeb. I think that's how the Maltese will pronounce the words for bon appetit in Maltese. Thank you so much for being here. This concludes this episode of Riddle Me Din Din with Venus Kalita. I'm going to head on off to Harry Potter Puzzles and Spells now. So anyone from my community here who wants to meet me over there, I'll see you on Facebook. Good night, everybody. And I'll see you next Tuesday for the next round of Riddle Me Din Din, where mermaids are going to lead our journey through the oceans. Take care. And this is Venus Kalita. I'm signing off. Good night, Tisha Adams. Thanks for being here.